Reading tables. Tables are all around us in school, at work, and in articles we read online or in paper. Although most tables are quite intuitive, it may be just helpful to take a quick look here and relate it to two common examples that we will be using in finance. Here's our first non-finance example. As you can see, it says here arrival times of tidal bores in Moncton, and it's giving dates and times. So what is this? This is simply a listing of times and dates for the event, and this is the event, arrival of tidal bores. And you can see it happens twice a day. Now to our second example, non-finance example. What do we have here? We start off with rank, a list of animals, of which 1, 2, 3, and the last one, 4 of them are crocodiles. And we have average mass, maximum mass, and average total length. So this is a ranking of animals, and it's a ranking by what? Well, we can see this is the average mass. Why? Because the average mass is consistent with the ranking. Whereas if you look at the maximum mass and the average total length, the leatherback sea turtle would be the last on this list because it's actually the smallest mass at maximum mass and smallest average total length. So the ranking is according to average mass, and you can see it's also quite intuitive the way they set this up because it's the first thing we see and it's consistent with the ranking that we have here too. One last thing, you can see that there's no elephant there, and elephants would definitely be larger. So although nothing is written here, you can guess with crocodiles, sea turtle, black caiman, and another crocodile here, this is probably a ranking of the largest reptiles in the world. I don't have to make a guess because of course I put this together, but that is the case. These are the largest reptiles in the world. Now this is an example we'll use in corporate finance. Here we have tax rates, and here we have tax brackets. So you see earnings from 0 to 48,535, and then the next dollar, 536, going on to 97,000, and then moving on 97, 150, 214, and over. So what is it saying? Let's take a look at one statement based on this table, a statement that would make sense. So we're going to focus here on this row. And what it would mean is that between $48,000 and $97,000, that will be taxed at a rate of 20.5%. Now, note this is not for all earnings, but just earnings in that range. Now, it's not, again, this is not said, or not stated here, but in a way it would also make sense, because can you imagine earning $48,536, which is just this number, versus someone else who's earned $48,535. If you had to pay 15%, 20% on every single dollar, it's worth actually earning one less dollar so that you save 5.5% in taxes for each dollar. So really what we can see is that this statement here makes sense. Earnings between or in that range would be taxed at that rate, not the entire earnings from 0 to whatever the amount is. And that would be incremental or marginal earnings. And this is what it's talking about. Again, none of that is written directly based on the table, but as you would imagine, that would make sense. And of course, if you're seeing that in context of some kind of an article or an explanation, then there's a certain level of intuitiveness involved here. And here's the final example that we'd also be using in a corporate finance class. Here we have the state of the economy, the probability of that state, the return on some stock X, and the return on some stock Y. So let's take another statement, again, a statement based on this table. So we're focusing here on the normal and 50% line. So the probability that the economy will exhibit normal growth is 50%. That's basically what they're saying here. And then seeing the 8.4, that would mean that in that scenario, the return on stock X is 8.4%. Of course, here actually what should be written would be the expected return on stock X. Nevertheless, that's what it's saying here, return on stock X. And then here the Y is 5.1. So while the stock Y, the return would be 5.1%. So that's really what this table is telling us. The saying is there are three potential scenarios we're looking at, and we're establishing some sort of a probability for those scenarios. And under each of those scenarios, this is what the outcome would be for stock X and stock Y. So thanks for your attention, and I hope that helped.